All righty, back at it once again here.
We're here.
I'm, can you guess what I am?
3 days in a row, man.
I know, right? I'm dressed up for Halloween at the Hive here today. Do you know what I am?
Sting fan?
Pumpkin?
The
orange. I don't know.
I never thought I should have worn. I have one of those too.
The Launa 1080.
Yeah,
I've had this for a few
absolutely.
years. They gave me one and Jason one when he was here regularly helping out. And it's a little big on me than it used to be. I've lost a few pounds there.
Absolutely.
Welcome everybody to the Hive here, Halloween at the Hive this afternoon, Sunday, as we get ready to take on the Niagara Ice Dogs, right? Which this is, I've actually been really looking forward to this one, and I'll tell you why, Jay.
Okay.
The last time they played, down in Niagara, and we see a team like Niagara that really struggled last year, bottom of the list. And they're bottom of the list again, but we had a hard time beating these guys, and in fact, we had to take it to overtime to pull it off.
For sure, and you know what? I mean, I think that's going to set up. However, I do want to say, if you watched any of the game last night in Saginaw, I mean, here we are putting out, arguably one of the youngest teams in the league. Because some of our key guys are out, right? I mean, we're still without Wainwright and Dalen Moses and some of these guys that are, have been really exciting on the ice in the beginning of this season. So it's, we're bringing in, some of the younger guys, Dylan Luca and all that kind of stuff. And look, I got fans.
Oh, a couple even.
Great. Absolutely. Anyway, so we're putting a young team out, and we came out in a strong performance against Saginaw. I thought it was a really well-played game. First period was not real exciting, but by the time we got into the second and the third, we had lots in the tank, and the boys did a great job.
I caught it up to the point of the first goal, which was, they were tough getting to that first goal in the beginning, right? And then I think you said Zach Felak.
I think it was,
And, there's been a lot of question about this young team. We keep saying that. Speaking of that, Mitch Young, we'll have to talk about that. But whenever I bump into people, they always ask me, so what do you think how the Stinger are going to do? And I'm like, I think they're going to do great. I think we've seen the progression of this young team very quickly grow, right?
Absolutely.
The skills were there, but I mean, their skills, I think, have already grown. They've very quickly gelled together, cliche saying, but it's true. And, other than a few disappointments, like dare I go back to Kitchener and got a slap in the face. Dylan Sika at the postgame the other day, he was like, you know what? It's definitely not what we want to see.
No.
But we're regrouping and moving forward, and here we are today.
Well, and I think it's a combination of a lot of factors. I mean, again, you're right. We have a young team, so a lot of inexperience coming in. But you know what? You're right. They seem to have gelled well together as a team. And I think there's some good coaching going on right now.
100%.
There's been some great draft picks. Just some really good foundational building blocks. And when you have all those right things kind of come together, you're going to see it in the play on the ice.
Well, let's talk about what happened the other day. I'm going to get this term wrong. Mitch Young. It was not Mitch Young. Who do I want to talk about? Tyson Doucette.
Yes.
Thanks. And what was that called? The what?
Slew footing.
Slew footing.
Yeah, basically it's if you decide to kick somebody with your skate.
Right. Now that was, that was almost a whole period for them to take their time to come to their decision.
Oh my goodness, it was crazy.
Which I think many disagreed with.
And clearly it was
Are you one of those?
error. It was an error that the league has overturned that call. It doesn't win us the game or anything like that, unfortunately. But
does it make it 3-2 instead of 4-2?
You know what? I don't even know because I'm not even sure what rules apply.
Yeah. Well, I think what it was going in on a breakaway, and because he did what they said he did, it would have been a goal. So they made it 4-2. So 3-2, 4-2, 6 half dozen, I guess. But
you know what? In that case, it's not so much the score as it is, getting the 2 points for the win or whatever. But
But something
we
that
still
matters.
Lost the game, and it was a defensive breakdown, and we had, we struggled, but. One of the better. Oh, thank you.
I'll take his.
Yeah, you could. Perfect.
I love it. You can come around anytime.
Cookies.
Look at that. I love Halloween.
Awesome.
I'm going to fit better into this jersey soon.
Absolutely. Just until you
something like that, though, is still important to, I think, the morality of the team and honestly the individual player and how it affects them.
Yeah.
Because, that could have been a suspension for a couple of games, right? So,
but I mean, if you saw any of the interviews, they did. Terry Doyle did an interview with Marko Sikic, and he was saying that, one of the things that they really need to do with the Sting against some of these other teams is bring up that physical gameplay.
Yeah.
And I think, I think he's right on the money. When we play that way, and we're making those smart plays, but a little more physical.
Yeah.
I think we tend to come out better in the end.
Yeah, we saw a little bit more of that improvement, I would say, in the playoffs last year, where we talked about that a lot, about, okay, guys, come on, just and they returned it very well from some of those teams that play that kind of hockey on a regular basis.
Yeah, well, we're in the division where, a lot of teams play that kind of that style of hockey, I mean, we've got Saginaw. Saginaw tends to be a particularly physical team.
Yep.
And Flint is a very physical team as well, and they're both in our division. And then, in our conference, we've got the Knights and, and a few others. So, I mean, the Battle of the 402 is the Battle of the 402 for a reason, right?
I'll tell you, I'm really happy with this team. I say that, sincerely, and I go back to Dylan Sika again, and he talked. I had a brief conversation with him. He's like, 100%. Yeah. We're really happy. The coaches we're really happy with this team.
Yeah.
And he says, we keep talking about the young factor, but they seem to be overcoming that every time we see them come out and play here.
Absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things where, it has been, if this is a sort of the foundation and the building blocks of it, I mean, we've got a good future going on because, in any game, there's the possibility to win or lose.
For sure.
You know what I mean? We're still above 500, which is terrific. And that's a great start to the season, Are we going to take our knocks on occasion?
Of course we are.
Absolutely we are, because there's a lot of great teams in this league. So, I think there's the boys.
There they are. Come around to the camera over here.
No, come around over here.
Come to the camera here.
Yeah. And wave.
There you go. Go ahead. There you wave. Hold them up. There you go. We got some Halloweeners here, right?
Absolutely.
You're scaring me. You scare me without the mask.
He totally does.
Stop it. Boy, we've got some really festive people here. Friend of yours.
Absolutely. Well, we may be renegotiating what
I don't
friend
remember what
means.
we were talking about now.
I don't mean neither.
Go away.
Anyway.
It's Halloween at the Hive.
He's such a clown, that guy.
He is a clown, that guy. I don't remember. The coaches, they're really happy with this team and a lot. They've come through a lot. And I see so far what I see, I think, is a playoff team.
I think there's no doubt in my mind we're going to make playoffs this year. How deep we go is another question.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I would hazard a guess and say, if I was a betting man, I would predict that we're going to go probably as deep as we did last year.
Wow, that's amazing. I think, and to be able to say that.
I think we've got some great building blocks, and there's still lots of hockey to play, and we'll see where that goes. But I think for the most part, we've got some great coaching. We've got some amazing players, and if we can stay strong and out of the injury reserve list, I think we're going to have a good chance to
and this is another thing. There was a question asked by a young gentleman, probably 10 or 12 years old maybe. They gave him the microphone at post-game, and he asked Dylan Sika, he said, what are your plans? What are you going to do to get this young team to mature to where they need to be for playoffs.
Yeah.
It was a great question from the young man.
Yeah.
And Dylan Seek is a great question. He goes, here's the thing. You had, Dillingham and a few of the others that were leaders last year that are gone now, but they, I forget how he said it, but kind of like trained or prepared, if you will, somebody like Cooper Way, and the Wainwrights and the Sickics to be the next leaders for this team. And we haven't seen Wainwright, so we don't know what's going on behind the scenes so much, but I think so far that leadership
he's
has
listed
done
as
very
day
well.
by day right now, I think, is what I heard. So, we could literally see him at any time, which is... I can't wait because
I would say that's
player.
coming soon. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of Ryan Brown, there's another one that I don't think he played yesterday.
No.
So there was a hint from Dylan Sika that we might have seen him yesterday, possibly today, but he also threw out there that. But he flies out on Monday to go. So, if it were me, I think I'd be going, especially against a team like the Niagara Ice Dogs, where we stand a pretty good chance without Ryan Brown, I think, on paper. If it were me, I'd be saying, we're going to let you rest.
Let's not forget we got Nick Zerzika in net.
Wow.
I'm not sure. Is he starting tonight?
I believe so,
I didn't know. Yeah, I think. But, he had an outstanding game in Saginaw yesterday, got first star of the game. And and deserved every minute of it.
Yeah.
Top stop 27 and 28.
27 saves. Yep.
Yeah, it was just.
I didn't catch the whole game, but I got through to the second period, and then I had to go. But I'm excited. Sunday afternoon games. It's always a little more kids running around here, and they're excited for. I'm not sure if they're doing a skater. I can't remember. I mentioned them. But anyway, the kids are here. It's nice to see some people getting dressed up.
Absolutely.
This is as far as it was either this or my Spider-Man shirt. I got a whole Spider-Man shirt.
I love the idea of Spider-Man.
So,
you go, Spidey.
Well, see, I knew I should have, but anyway, we're here.
It's all good.
Honey and Buzz running around. Look at that.
Absolutely.
And you can just, that's the other thing, just before we go, Jay, the vibe of the fans that has come off in this arena since we got back here. Strong from the momentum, and they're supportive. And you know what else I noticed? Mostly, they're staying to the end.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Well, we did have a few people in our section that bailed out with 20 seconds left to go the other night.
Well, 20 seconds.
You know what I mean? But you know what? I'm not going to hold it.
Not 5 minutes.
Not 5 minutes.
Because that annoys me. I'm like, there's corporate seats.
Do you remember that one game we did?
Oh, yes.
So many years ago.
Yeah.
And
they came back.
We were down, and they came back from they were down 5-1, and they came back to win it 6-5 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. All right. Well, getting ready to take on the Niagara Ice Dogs here once again at the Progressive Auto Sales Arena.
Should be a good game.
I want to give a shout out. I don't know if she's watching. She might be taking a nap, but a shout out to my wife, Jenny Moons, for winning third place in the pool tournament in London, and then her team yesterday winning first place.
Absolutely.
So that's Cassandra, Christine, Jennifer, and Chantel.
There you go.
Boy,
look at you. Mine like a steel trap.
Wow. 3 seasons of Jay. That was congratulations, lady. All right, live from the concourse. Of course, we'll be back here. I think we're gonna let Lee clown around today.
Absolutely.
And Jay will be back here to fill in for all the intermissions. And of course, the post-game press conference. You never know what's going to happen there, so keep watching for that. Live from the concourse and with the Sarnia Sting, I'm David Burrows and my good friend Jay Peckham.
Go Sting, go!
All right.